Good morning. Uh, this particular topic I have chosen to throw some light on various issues, particularly on the social related issues. See, in India, we have several problems, several issues in the society. Of course, they are not uncommon and they are also equally persisting or prevailing in all other countries also. But my focus, I just wanted to limit it to the India and its major social issues. While we made the major progress on many respects, including the technology and other welfare measures of the people, but there are still certain issues are there which are either unresolved or not totally untouched or not totally analyzed. Some of these issues which I wanted to bring are those challenges with respect to the poverty, education, health, gender equality and sanitation. See, in fact, these are some of the characteristics of any society. The society, more of any such problems, is treated as a underdeveloped society or ill society. We wanted to make sure that these problems are addressed and proper solutions are found for these things. So one by one we'll be discussing. First is poverty and inequality. The poverty is lack of resources for the day-to-day life. The proverb says, roti, kapda or makan, that is the bread, cloth and the shelter, which are required for any society, for any humans. That is the beginning of this poverty. If somebody has their own roti, own kapda or own makan, then they are considered not under the below poverty line. See, the type of food you eat, type of clothes you wear or type of the houses you do, they are different. It starts from a poor hut to the luxurious palaces. So the poverty and inequality here, when we try to bring it, I don't want to compare as somebody who is living in a hut to the somebody who is living in the palaces. But I wanted to bring the issues with those people who are living in the poverty with the minimum, rather the bare minimum facilities with respect to the roti, kapda or makan. Why this situation is there? Is it due to their lack of resources, their lack of work for them, or lack of recognition by the government and for their problems? What exactly the issues? These problems include both rural as well as the urban. But here the rural-urban divide we have to discuss what exactly the issues. I remember during my childhood I used to visit the villages where the people used to have the different type of a cultural and social bondings, and people used to keep laughing and enjoying their life in the society irrespective of the income parities or irrespective of their other social issues. But today is totally different. In villages they always look for the urban type of the living. So what exactly they need, nobody really knows it. But saying that, we should also focus on what are the issues that the rural society is facing and what are the issues the urban society is facing, and how to give a classification of these two societies and how to address the problems these societies are facing. In case of the rural, there are limited opportunities for earning as well as living. In urban, there are mixed opportunities, but that doesn't mean that there are too many available opportunities. At the same time, not everybody gets the opportunity. So these inequalities we wanted to discuss in brief. Another issue is the educational challenges. Of course, the government is spending a lot of resources for the educational development, compulsory education up to the age of 14, and particularly in villages, cultural and other type of a literacy rate below the year of 6 or 8 years. So these are all the things are there, but still there are several gaps between the learning of education in the rural areas and the urban areas. So what are those gaps that need to be addressed? And if the gaps are really harming the society with respect to the educational levels, we should address it and we should make it equality. This parity is very much necessity. And the school dropouts are several. In villages, it is much more as compared to the urban areas. In urban areas, even those laborers who are working, they send their children, if not the government, sometimes even to the convent or even a private schools to have the better education for the children so that they will have a better future. In the rural areas, it is not the same. Of course, some of the rural areas these days, they are all the borders of the urban society, and the schools also, private schools are coming. But the focus on the government schools and the quality education in the government schools is important. With respect to the gender inequality, which is another problem, gender discrimination is very much there. Women and men work as a labor, but women get less, men get more. Whether it is a different type of a work or it's the same type of work, the payment system is same. For example, a simple work like a household work, if a woman works for 8 hours, she gets paid maybe around 7 to 800, whereas if the men work, they get paid the 900,000 rupees. So why the discrimination is there? Whether the work is same, it is only due to the gender discrimination. Unfortunately, the women also accepting this discrimination as their routine or their normal. That should be changed. Who will change? The society should change, the government laws should change, and ultimately there should not be any discrimination. The work is different, there is a hard work, there is a soft work, then the situation will be different. Similarly, safety related issues. Women are facing a lot of safety related issues, including the harassment, sexual harassment at the workplaces and so on. Laws are made to punish those people who indulge in this type of harassment. But how many people are bringing up these things? In recent one of my seminars, one lady tried to express her problems, but other women, they tried to snub her that why are you bringing this? This is not the forum. So that is the way many women, they are unable to bring their problems to the score or a society, and they don't have a proper channel. Even the proper channel is, if there is any, that is also not properly maintained. So this is an important issue. One should really think about the gender inequalities and unequal opportunities also. It's there for the men and women also. And child labor, child raise, that is one of the most important thing. Despite there is a loss, still the children are, they are forced to work, not sent to school education, because their parents think that whatever they are earning the money, that is better for their families. Despite the association or society, assistance from the government, some of the families, they prefer to send their children even the little work like a serving the tea in the tea stalls. It may not be hard work, but in place of their school time, they are sending to the tea stall to serve the teas. How justified this is? So some of these things we have to consider, and what are the background and what are the root causes for these problems also we have to think. And with respect to the health and nutrition, unfortunately the pollution and the whatever the type of the food we are getting, they are really harming more than what it has to do the good to the humanity as well as the health care of the persons. The malnutrition for the children, again the villagers and the women and the below poverty line, how they are facing the malnutrition due to which their health problems. All those things have to be studied in depth. What is the problem? What is the health care problem? Why the problem is coming? What are the root causes? Why a malnutrition is there? Why the food of the nutrition is not available to such a people? All those things we have to analyze and then come to a solution. Then another most important thing, sanitation and the clear water. See, in fact, for last 10-12 years, the toilet, Har Ghar Mein toilet, was some of the government's policies where the particularly ladies need not to go outside for their nature calls. They should have their own facilities in the house. So lakhs and crores of toilets are built either by the NGOs or with the assistance of the government with some funds, or by the private people themselves. So sanitation starts at the home. Throwing the dust out of my house to maintain my house clean is not the solution. Where the house dust is going on or dirt is going on should be also considered. So these are some of the issues how the government as well as the society and the neighborhood they are maintaining sanitation and clean water. This is one of the major thing if really wanted to compare with any developed countries. Forget about Singapore and other highly developed with a lot of strict laws. Even those countries like underdeveloping or developed countries, areas like US, Canada or other things, there is a lot of difference is there with respect to sanitation and the clean water. So there the focus should be very much there with the societies, NGOs as well as the government. And we have to find out what are the real issues and how to solve those problems. And the social impact, particularly the poverty to the rich. This is the curve of the economic growth, how the human development and the social justice can be done with the various policies. Just giving the free base will not really help in the economic growth of the personalities or a human development. You have to make them realize how they themselves earn the money or earn their improve their economic system. That is more important. The focus should be on them. It is not like give a fish to somebody to eat, but how to do the fishing so that they will be able to earn their own money. Just during the elections, giving the 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 will not really last for the economic problems. So that need to be focused on. And ultimately, when we really talk about all those things, how we wanted to really start with working on each of these social problems with respect to education, health care, and social protection, women empowerment, rural and urban divide, and the gaps between the social layers, I would say. All those things, deep studies required. NGOs, societies, and the government should encourage the people who are working on them on these issues, and ultimately you need to say come to a conclusion that something can be done. So the resources normally it has to be provided by the government or it has to be provided by the NGOs to enable the society to bring themselves in a better way. Thank you very much for this listening to this brief talk. If you have any questions, you can always reach us at our email and contact numbers given in the description box. Thank you very much.